I was sitting at my desk when my phone buzzed. A text from Florence. That alone was unusual. She was my wife's best friend, someone I'd known for years through social gatherings and group dinners, but we never texted directly. The message was simple and direct. I really don't want to upset you at all, but your wife has been seeing multiple lovers behind your back. I stared at the screen. No build-up, no softening the blow, just straight facts. My first instinct wasn't anger or denial. It was suspicion. Why now? Why her? I typed back. Thank you, but why actually help me? What exactly do you want? Her response came fast. You. Only you. I set the phone down and leaned back in my chair. 2 bombs dropped in under 30 seconds. My wife was cheating, apparently with more than one person, and her best friend just confessed interest in me. Most men would panic or lash out. I did neither. Instead, I called Florence. She picked up on the second ring. I knew you'd call. Start talking, I said. How do you know this? Because I've covered for her, Florence said quietly. She's been using me as an alibi for months. Girls' nights, shopping trips, spa weekends. None of it was true. I didn't know what she was doing at first, but then I saw her with someone at a restaurant across town. When I confronted her, she begged me to keep quiet and promised it was just once. That was 4 months ago. And you agreed? I did. I shouldn't have. Her voice tightened. But then it kept happening. Different guys. I started recognizing the pattern. She'd text me asking to confirm we were together on specific nights if you ever asked. I became part of the lie, and I hated it. So why tell me now? Florence exhaled. Because you deserve better. And because I couldn't lie to you anymore. I've watched you for years. You're kind, hardworking, loyal. She doesn't appreciate what she has. I do. You said you want me. I do. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But that's not why I'm telling you. I'd tell you even if I knew you'd never look at me that way. You need to know what's happening in your own marriage. I believed her, not because I wanted to, but because it fit. My wife's behavior over the past year made sense now. The late nights at the office that stopped including details. The new interest in fitness and appearance. The phone she suddenly guarded like a vault. I'd noticed, but hadn't connected the dots. Give me names and dates, I said. Florence did. 3 names. Specific locations. Times. She'd kept mental notes. Not because she planned this, but because the lies bothered her enough to remember. One name stood out, someone from my wife's work. Another was a guy from her yoga class. The third I didn't recognize. I'll need proof, I told her. I have screenshots of some texts she sent me. I saved them just in case. I can send them now if you want. Do it. My phone buzzed repeatedly as the screenshots arrived. My wife's messages to Florence were casual, almost cheerful. Can you cover for me tonight? Tell him we're at that wine bar downtown. Another. If he asks, we went shopping and lost track of time. Reading them felt surreal. This wasn't a mistake or a moment of weakness. This was calculated, repeated, deliberate. What are you going to do? Florence asked. Handle it, I said. But not tonight. I need to think. I understand. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry. I should have told you sooner. You told me now. That counts. Will you keep me updated? Maybe. We'll see. I hung up and sat in silence. My wife would be home in an hour, probably with another excuse about where she'd been. Part of me wanted to confront her immediately, lay everything out, and watch her scramble. But that wasn't smart. Anger makes you sloppy. I needed to be precise. I opened my laptop and started documenting everything. Florence's messages, the screenshots, the timeline. I saved copies in 3 different places. Then I searched for a divorce attorney. Not to hire immediately, but to know my options. My phone buzzed again. My wife. Running late. Don't wait up for dinner. I typed back. No problem. She had no idea the floor just dropped out from under her. And I planned to keep it that way until the moment I was ready to pull the trigger. Florence had handed me the truth. What I did with it was up to me. But one thing was certain. I wasn't going to be anyone's fool. Not anymore. The next 3 days, I watched. Not obviously, not desperately. Just paid attention to things I'd been ignoring. Tuesday night, my wife said she had drinks with coworkers. She came home at 11, hair slightly different than when she left, makeup touched up. Wednesday, she claimed her mom needed help with something. Took 4 hours. Thursday was yoga class that somehow required 2 hours of prep time beforehand. I didn't challenge any of it. Just nodded, asked casual questions, acted normal. She had no clue I was documenting every inconsistency. Friday evening, I was ready. She walked in around 7, gym bag over her shoulder. Hey babe, how was your day? Productive, I said. Yours? Exhausting. That instructor really pushes us. She set her bag down and headed for the kitchen. I'm starving. Want me to order something? Actually, I need to talk to you about something first. She turned, eyebrows raised. Okay, what's up? I kept my voice level. Where were you really on Tuesday night? Her expression shifted, just slightly. I told you, drinks with people from work. Which people? Does it matter? Just some coworkers. Names. Now she looked irritated. Why are you interrogating me? What's going on? I'm asking simple questions. If you were actually at drinks with coworkers, naming them shouldn't be difficult. She crossed her arms. This is ridiculous. Are you seriously accusing me of lying? I'm asking you to clarify. There's a difference. Who's putting this in your head? Did someone say something to you? Interesting. She went defensive immediately, then tried to shift focus to an outside influence. Classic deflection. Answer the question, I said calmly. Who were you with Tuesday night? I already told you. Then tell me again. With specifics. She stared at me, jaw tight. I don't appreciate being treated like I'm on trial in my own home. And I don't appreciate being lied to in mine. I'm not lying. I pulled out my phone, opened the screenshots Florence had sent, then explained these. I showed her the messages. Her texts to Florence. The requests for alibis. The casual planning of deception. I watched the color drain from her face. Where did you get those? Doesn't matter. What matters is they exist. That's taken out of context. Florence and I joke around all the time. Tuesday night wasn't a joke. Neither was last Saturday, or the Thursday before that. I swiped through more screenshots. Want to keep lying? Or should we skip to the part where you admit it? She tried a different approach, softened her voice. Okay, listen. Yes, I've been going out more. But it's not what you think. I just needed space sometimes. The marriage has felt stale, and I didn't know how to tell you. Space. That's what you're calling it. I haven't done anything wrong. Multiple people. Different nights. That's not space. That's a pattern. Her eyes widened. Who told you that? Florence? Did she actually tell you that? Does it matter who told me? Is it true or not? She didn't answer immediately. That silence was the confession. This is insane, she finally said. You're believing someone else over your own wife. I'm believing evidence. There's a difference. Evidence. Some out-of-context texts and gossip from my supposed best friend? That's what you're basing this on. I'm basing it on your behavior. The phone you hide. The late nights. The new routines. The excuses that don't add up. Florence just confirmed what I already suspected. She tried tears next. How can you do this? We've been together for years. You know me. You know I love you. If you loved me, you wouldn't need Florence to cover for you while you spend time with other men. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? Explain it to me. She opened her mouth, then closed it. Tried again. It was just, I don't know. I felt stuck. Invisible. Like you didn't even see me anymore. So instead of talking to me, you went behind my back. Multiple times. With multiple people. It didn't mean anything. That makes it worse, not better. She wiped her eyes, smearing mascara. What do you want from me? An apology? Fine. I'm sorry. I made mistakes. But we can fix this. We can go to counseling, work through it. No. What do you mean, no? I mean this is over. I'm not interested in fixing something you broke deliberately and repeatedly. You can't be serious. I've never been more serious about anything. Over what? Some texts and accusations? You're throwing away our marriage because of Florence. I'm ending it because of you. Florence just had the decency to tell me the truth. She stared at me, disbelief turning to panic. You can't do this. I won't let you. You don't get a vote anymore. I stood up, grabbed my keys. I'm staying somewhere else tonight. We'll discuss logistics later. Don't contact me unless it's about the house or bills. Where are you going? That's not your concern anymore. I walked out. She called after me, but I didn't stop. My hands were steady on the steering wheel as I drove away. No shaking, no second guessing. Just clarity. She'd had choices at every step. She chose this outcome. Now she'd have to live with it. I spent the weekend at a hotel. Basic, clean, quiet. Exactly what I needed to think clearly. My phone exploded with messages. My wife sent 37 texts Saturday alone. They started apologetic, turned desperate, then angry, then back to pleading. I read them all, but didn't respond. Let her sit with the uncertainty. Sunday afternoon, Florence called. She knows it was me, Florence said. She called me yesterday screaming. Said I ruined her life. What did you tell her? That she ruined it herself. I just stopped being part of the cover-up. Florence paused. Are Are you okay? Better than I expected to be, honestly. Have you talked to a lawyer yet? Got a consultation scheduled for Tuesday morning. Good. Don't let her guilt you into backing down. I won't. And for what it's worth, I meant what I said. About you. But I'm not trying to pressure you or insert myself into this mess. You need time to process everything. I appreciate that. Just know I'm here if you need someone to talk to. After we hung up, I made a list. Assets to protect, documents to gather, accounts to separate. I'd learned a long time ago that emotions don't win battles. Preparation does. Monday morning, I went back to the house while my wife was at work. Packed 2 suitcases with clothes and essentials. Took photos of everything in the house, every room, every valuable item. Documentation for later. I was loading the car when my wife's car pulled into the driveway. She must have left work early. She got out slowly, face blotchy from crying. Please, can we just talk? There's nothing left to discuss. How can you say that? We've been together for 8 years. That has to mean something. It did. Past tense. She stepped closer. I know I messed up. I know I hurt you. But people make mistakes. That's what marriage is about, right? Working through the hard stuff together. Mistakes are accidental. What you did was a choice. Multiple choices, actually. I was confused. I didn't know what I wanted. And now you do? Convenient timing. Yes, I want you. I want our marriage. I'll do whatever it takes. I closed the trunk. You want me now because you got caught. If Florence hadn't said anything, you'd still be lying to my face every night. That's not fair. Fair? You spent months using your best friend as cover while you slept around. Don't talk to me about fair. Her voice cracked. What about forgiveness? What about second chances? Those are for people who come clean on their own, not for people who lie until they're cornered. So that's it. You've already decided. You decided when you made the first plan to cheat. And the second. And the third. I'm just acknowledging what you already chose. She grabbed my arm. Please don't do this. I'm begging you. I pulled away, not roughly but firmly. Begging doesn't change what happened. Your lawyer can contact mine once I have one. I don't want lawyers. I want my husband. You should have thought about that before you gave yourself to half the city. Her face twisted with anger. You're really going to throw everything away because you're too proud to forgive me? This isn't about pride. It's about self-respect. I'm not staying with someone who thinks so little of me that she'd do what you did. Florence got in your head. She wanted you for herself, and she manipulated you. Florence told me the truth. You had plenty of chances to do the same and didn't take any of them. She's not innocent in this. Maybe not, but she's not the one who broke vows to me. You did that all by yourself. I got in my car. She stood in the driveway, arms wrapped around herself like she could hold the pieces together. Where are you going? She called out. Somewhere you're not. I drove away for the second time in 3 days. This time felt more final. That night, she sent one more text. I'll fight for us, even if you won't. I blocked her number. Whatever fight she wanted to have, she'd have to do it through lawyers. Tuesday morning, I met with an attorney. Older guy, straightforward, no nonsense. He listened to everything, looked at the screenshots, took notes. This is pretty clean cut, he said. Infidelity documented, pattern of deception. We can move fast if you want. I want. Any shared property concerns? House is in both names. Bought it 3 years ago. Still have a mortgage on it. Assets. 2 cars, both paid off. Joint bank account, separate retirement accounts. No kids. That simplifies things. How do you want to proceed? Fair division of property. I'll take the house if she wants out, or we sell and split. But I want this done quickly and definitively. He nodded. I'll draft the papers. You'll need to avoid contact with her as much as possible. Let everything go through me. Gladly. Walking out of that office, I felt lighter. Not happy exactly, but clear. The path forward was set. No more uncertainty, no more games. Just forward motion. My wife made her choices. Now I was making mine. The divorce papers were served Thursday afternoon. My wife called the attorney's office 6 times that day. He didn't take any of the calls. Friday morning, her mother showed up at my hotel. We need to talk, she said when I opened the door. About my daughter. About this divorce nonsense. I leaned against the doorframe. There's nothing nonsense about it. She made a mistake. One mistake. You can't end a marriage over that. It wasn't one mistake. It was months of deliberate deception. Her mother's face tightened. Everyone goes through rough patches. Marriage takes work. I agree. But it also takes honesty. She wasn't honest with me about anything. She's devastated. Barely eating, can't sleep. Is that what you want? What I want is to not be married to someone who cheated on me repeatedly. Her feelings about getting caught aren't my responsibility anymore. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. Maybe that's unfamiliar to your daughter, but it's not cruel. Florence poisoned you against her. Can't you see that? Florence told me what was happening. Your daughter did the actual poisoning. Her mother stepped closer. If you go through with this, you'll regret it. You're giving up on someone who loves you. She loved me so much she needed 3 other guys to feel complete. That's not love. That's convenience. You're twisting everything. I'm seeing it clearly for the first time, and I don't like what I see. She stared at me, then shook her head. You'll change your mind. When you calm down and think rationally, you'll realize you're making a huge mistake. I've never been more rational in my life. She left without another word. I closed the door and went back to reviewing financial documents. My phone buzzed. Florence, how are you holding up? She asked. Fine. Her mother just tried the guilt approach. Let me guess. You're throwing away true love. Something like that. Florence laughed softly. They're all going to try. Her friends, family, probably mutual acquaintances. Everyone loves a reconciliation story. They can write their own. I'm not interested. Good. Stay strong. I am. How are you doing? I know this puts you in an awkward position. I lost most of our mutual friends. They think I betrayed her, but I can live with that. I'm sorry you're dealing with fallout. Don't be. I made my choice knowing what it would cost. No regrets. We talked for another 20 minutes. Easy conversation, no pressure, no expectations. Just 2 people being honest with each other. It felt refreshing after years of walking through conversational minefields with my wife. The following week, my attorney called. She's contesting the divorce, he said. Claims reconciliation is possible and you're not giving the marriage a fair chance. Can she actually stop this? She can delay it. Make it messy, but she can't stop it permanently. How long? Depends on how hard she fights. Could be a few months, could be longer. Fine. I'm not in a rush. As long as the outcome is the same. It will be. Just warning you. She might try to make this public. Get sympathy, paint you as the bad guy. Let her. Anyone who knows what actually happened won't buy it. Good attitude. Stay off social media, don't engage with her directly, and let me handle everything. That advice lasted exactly 3 days. Sunday afternoon, I stopped at a store to pick up supplies. Ran into one of my wife's co-workers in the parking lot. Gavin, the guy from her yoga class. One of the 3 names Florence had given me. He saw me at the same time I saw him. His face went pale. Hey, he said awkwardly. How's it going? I walked closer. Interesting question coming from you. Look, man, I don't want any trouble. Then you should have thought about that before sleeping with my wife. It wasn't like that. What was it like exactly? He shifted his weight, eyes darting around. It was just a few times. She said you guys were basically done anyway. Did she? Yeah. Said you were roommates more than anything. And you believe that? I mean, she seemed genuine about it. I stepped closer. He stepped back. Here's the thing, Gavin. I don't care what she told you. I care that you didn't have enough respect to verify the story before getting involved. That makes you just as guilty. I didn't know for sure. Then you should have asked. Or walked away. But you didn't. You took the easy path because it benefited you. Are you threatening me? I'm educating you. My wife wrecked our marriage. You helped. Own that. It's not my fault your marriage had problems. My marriage had one problem. People like you. I walked away before I said anything I'd regret. He called after me, but I ignored it. When I got back to the hotel, I called my attorney. Ran into one of the guys she was seeing, I said. Kept it civil, but barely. Good. Don't give them ammunition. She's looking for any excuse to paint you as aggressive or unstable. Understood. One more thing. She's asking for the house in the settlement. Says she can't afford to move and you make more money. That's not happening. Didn't think so. Just wanted you to know she's trying. After the call, I sat on the hotel bed and looked around the small room. This wasn't home, but neither was the house anymore. Not with her in it. I'd build something new, somewhere honest, somewhere better, and I'd do it without her. 3 weeks later, I got invited to a birthday party for a mutual friend. Neil was turning 40 and having a backyard gathering. I almost declined, but Florence texted me. She's going to be there. Don't let her run you off from your friends. She had a point. I wasn't hiding. I arrived Saturday evening. The party was already in full swing, about 30 people scattered across Neil's yard. I spotted my wife immediately, standing with a group near the grill. She saw me too. Her whole body went rigid. Florence was by the drinks table. She gave me a small wave. I walked over. Glad you came, she said, handing me a beer. Thanks. This should be interesting. She's been telling people her version all night. How you abandoned her over nothing. How I manipulated you. How she's the victim. Anyone buying it? Some. The ones who don't know the full story. We talked for a few minutes before Neil came over. Hey man, good to see you. How are you holding up? Better than expected. Yeah, I heard about everything. Rough situation. It is what it is. He lowered his voice. For what it's worth, I think you handled it right. If someone did that to me, I'd be done too. Appreciate that. I was mid-conversation with another friend when I heard raised voices behind me. Turned to see my wife marching toward Florence, face flushed with anger. How dare you show up here? My wife said, loud enough that conversation stopped. Florence stayed calm. I was invited. Same as you. You destroyed my marriage and you have the nerve to act casual about it. I didn't destroy anything. You did that yourself. By telling him lies. By twisting everything. People were watching now. The party had gone quiet. I told him the truth, Florence said evenly. That's not the same thing. You wanted him for yourself. Admit it. I was honest about my feelings. But that's not why I told him. I told him because he deserved to know what you were doing behind his back. My wife's voice went shrill. You're supposed to be my best friend. Best friends don't help cover up betrayal. I did that for too long. I'm done. You're a backstabbing. Careful, I said, stepping between them. Whatever you're about to say, think hard before you finish that sentence. My wife turned on me. Of course you're defending her. You've been sleeping with her this whole time, haven't you? No, but even if I was, that would be my business. I'm not the one who was married and cheating. This is exactly what she wanted. To break us up so she could have you. Nobody broke us up. You handled that on your own with Gavin, and whoever else you were seeing. Gasps rippled through the crowd. My wife's face went white. You're really going to air everything out here? In front of everyone? You started this conversation. I'm just finishing it. Neil stepped forward. Maybe we should all take a breath then. No. My wife interrupted, eyes locked on mine. I want everyone to hear this. I made mistakes. I admit that. But I was trying to save our marriage. I was willing to work through it. He's the one who gave up. Working through it, I kept my voice level. You mean the part where you lied for months? Or the part where you only admitted anything after getting caught? I was scared. I didn't know how to tell you. You had dozens of chances. Every time you asked Florence to lie for you. Every time you came home late with another excuse. Every single time you looked me in the eye and pretended everything was fine. She tried tears. I'm sorry. How many times do I have to say it? Saying sorry doesn't make it true. It just means you're sorry you got caught. That's not fair. What's not fair is using people who care about you as props in your lies. Florence covered for you because she thought she was being a good friend. I trusted you because I thought you were being a good wife. We were both wrong. Someone in the crowd muttered agreement. My wife noticed. You're all going to take his side? Just like that. Megan, one of her friends, spoke up quietly. You asked me to lie for you too. Last month. Said you were with me when you weren't. I didn't know what to do. Another woman nodded. Same here. My wife looked around, seeing the truth dawn on everyone's faces. She burned through allies faster than she realized. This is ridiculous, she said, voice breaking. You're all acting like I'm some terrible person. I made mistakes. People make mistakes. Mistakes are forgetting to pay a bill, I said. What you did was calculated. There's a difference. She stared at me, mascara running. Then she grabbed her purse and stormed toward her car. The party stayed quiet for a moment after she left. Then slowly, conversations resumed. A few people came up to me, expressed support, said they didn't know the full story until now. Florence touched my arm. You okay? Yeah, that needed to happen. She's going to hate me even more now. She should hate herself. But that's not your problem or mine. Neil came over with fresh beers. Sorry that went down at my party. Not your fault. She chose the venue. Still, for what it's worth, I think most people here see the situation for what it is now. He was right. The court of public opinion had shifted, not because I defended myself, but because she'd shown everyone exactly who she was when backed into a corner. Later that night, Florence and I sat on Neil's back deck while the party wound down. Thank you, she said, for defending me back there. You didn't need defending. You held your own. Still, it meant something. We sat in comfortable silence for a while. No pressure, no expectations. Just two people who'd been through something difficult and come out on the other side. What happens now? She asked. Divorce finalizes in about 6 weeks. Then I figure out what comes next. And us. I don't know yet, but I'm not opposed to finding out. She smiled. That's honest. I can work with honest. Good, because that's all I'm interested in anymore. We stayed until the party ended, then I drove back to the hotel. For the first time in weeks, I felt like I could breathe. The worst was out in the open. No more secrets, no more games. Just truth. And that was enough. The divorce finalized on a Tuesday morning in late September. 6 months after Florence's text. 6 months that felt like a lifetime. My attorney called at 10. It's done. Judge signed off on everything. House is yours. Assets split fairly. Clean break. She didn't show up to the final hearing. She didn't. Nope. Her lawyer said she couldn't handle being in the same room as you. That works for me. Congratulations. You're officially a free man. I sat in my car outside the courthouse for a few minutes, letting it sink in. Free. The word felt bigger than it should. I drove to the house. Our house. My house now. Walked through the rooms, seeing them differently. This place had been a prison of sorts, filled with lies I didn't know existed. Now it was just a building. Walls and floors and memories I could choose to keep or discard. I spent the afternoon packing up the last of her belongings. She'd already taken most of her stuff weeks ago, but there were still random items scattered around. Photos, decorations, little pieces of a life we'd built together. I boxed everything carefully, labeled it, and scheduled a delivery to her new place. No drama, no anger, just closure. My phone rang. Florence, how did it go? She asked. It's official. Done. How do you feel? Lighter. Like I've been carrying weight I didn't realize was there. That's good. That's healthy. Want to get dinner tonight? Celebrate the end of an era. I'd like that, but only if you're truly ready. I don't want to be a rebound or a distraction. You're neither. You're someone who was honest with me when everyone else was lying. That matters. Then yes, dinner sounds perfect. We met at a quiet restaurant downtown. Nothing fancy, just good food and better conversation. We talked about everything except my ex-wife. Work, hobbies, plans for the future. It felt natural, easy, like we'd been doing this for years. Can I ask you something? Florence said over dessert. Sure. Do you regret any of it? The marriage, the time invested? I thought about it. No, I regret that it ended the way it did. But I don't regret trying. I gave it everything I had. She's the one who chose differently. That's a mature way to look at it. I'm done being bitter. Bitterness just gives her more power over my life. I'd rather move forward. And what does moving forward look like? Honestly, I'm not entirely sure yet. But I know it involves being with people who value honesty. People like you. She smiled. I can work with that. Over the next few months, things developed naturally between us. No rush, no pressure. We took time getting to know each other outside the chaos of the divorce. Discovered we had more in common than we'd realized. Built something genuine. I ran into my ex-wife once more about 4 months after the divorce. She was at a restaurant with someone new. Looked happy, or at least content. When our eyes met, she looked away quickly. No confrontation, no drama. Just two people whose paths had diverged. I didn't feel anger. Didn't feel satisfaction. Just nothing. She was part of my past, not my present. That was enough. Florence and I moved in together after a year. Not because we were rushing, but because it made sense. We'd built trust slowly, brick by brick, conversation by conversation. No secrets, no games, no wondering where we stood. One evening, we were sitting on the back deck of the house, watching the sunset. Do you ever think about how different things could have been? She asked. Sometimes, but different doesn't always mean better. You don't wonder what if. What if I'd never found out? What if she'd never cheated? What if you hadn't told me? I shook my head. Those questions don't help anyone. I'd rather focus on what actually is. And what is that? This, right here. Someone who chose honesty even when it was difficult. Someone who values the same things I do. That's what matters. She leaned against me. I'm glad I sent that text. So am I. Even though it blew up your life, it didn't blow up my life. It saved it. I just didn't realize I needed saving until you pointed out I was drowning. We sat in comfortable silence as the sun dipped below the horizon. No regrets, no looking back, just forward. My ex-wife had taught me what I didn't want. Florence showed me what I did. Both lessons were valuable, but only one built a future worth having. I'd been married to someone who saw honesty as optional. Now I was with someone who saw it as essential. The difference was everything. Years from now, I'd look back on that text message as the moment my actual life began. Not because it ended my marriage, but because it showed me what integrity looked like, what genuine care felt like, what partnership could be when both people chose truth over convenience. My ex-wife made her choices. I made mine. And in the end, we both got exactly what we deserved. She got her freedom to chase whatever made her happy in the moment. I got a partner who understood that happiness built on lies never lasts. The story could have gone differently, but I wouldn't change how it ended. This was better. This was honest. This was home.